Our series is the longest continually running series in Washington. Essentially, there's been music at the Phillips as long as there's been art on the walls. And certainly when the museum opened in 1921, there were lots of salon concerts being held, somewhat irregularly, but in 1941 it became a season of 30-plus concerts, and it has been that way ever since. The original home of the Phillips Collection was built in 1897 when our founder, Duncan Phillips's parents, were here, and Duncan had a very special eye for art. When he opened the first room to the public, he would juxtapose newer and older works, so masterworks with more contemporary paintings, and he would let the viewer make the connections. The same goes for music. Duncan Phillips' philosophy was marrying the old and the new. The music room at the Phillips Collection was the setting for early performances of many luminaries, including Emanuel Ax in 1967, Jesse Norman in 1968, Jean-Yves Thibodeau in 1984. Philip Glass played his own works here recently. Robert McDuffie, the violinist, and of course Glenn Gould.
My name's Stuart Goodyear. I'm a concert pianist and composer. Born and raised in Toronto, just 2 blocks away from the Royal Conservatory where I had my first music lessons. I first heard about Glenn Gould when I was 4 years old. Just a few months after he died, so I never had a chance to meet him, which was a great regret of mine. When I first heard Glenn Gould play, there was a sound that was so distinctive and compelling, penetrating. I was hooked from the first second. I find that Glenn Gould and I have a few things in common. That's why I would have loved to have met the guy. Both of us from Toronto, both of us compose, both fans of history, both fans of walking and exploring nature, both fans of summer cottages, the water. This Phillips project came about by an email from Caroline Musset of the Phillips Collection asking me to reenact Glenn Gould's US debut program. And 2 seconds later, I replied, absolutely, I would be honored to. Glenn Gould's US debut took place 1955, Washington, at the Phillips Collection. There were 150 people in the audience, all absolutely transfixed, one of them being Alexander Schneider, who right after contacted his friend, who happened to be working at a record label by the name of Columbia Records. David Oppenheim came to the New York performance of that same program. It was Glenn Gould's New York debut at Town Hall with a contract. Those 2 dates made history. That Washington concert, well, according to Paul Hume, no one had ever heard the like. The way I will be presenting this program, I will be honoring Glenn Gould with my own interpretations, my own personal feelings toward these works, but always in the back of my mind will be that je ne sais quoi, I guess that telepathic communication with one of the great ghosts of classical music right beside me. The Phillips Collection was introduced to me by that program of Glenn Gould, and after just reading about that historic event, I wanted to find out more about the Phillips Collection, and to my delight, they kept up that tradition of innovative programming. Every artist that comes in is presenting music in a format that is very intimate, very personal, and unlike anything the audience has ever heard before.
Just about every musician or ensemble has commented about our audience. I'm really proud of our audience. They are so intelligent, so engaged, so curious. When a performer or ensemble arrive, they usually come 1 or 2 days before the concert, and they have opportunity for closed rehearsals, which means when the museum is closed, they can rehearse on the concert piano and in the environment where the concert will be. On the day of the performance, the artists come to the green room, get settled, and the green room is wonderful. It has pictures of related to music of Marian Anderson and Leonard Bernstein, Van Cliburn. About an hour and a half before the performance, sound check takes place with our recording engineer, Ed Kelly. And 3:15, the doors open, and the audiences spill in, and we're very fortunate to have full audiences for our concerts. Because the museum closes at 7 o'clock in the evening, after the concerts take place, audiences can have the chance to speak with musicians and talk about the concert with them and with each other, and it really makes for a nice, rounded experience. It's important to me to introduce new artists and new works to Washington audiences for the first time. And we especially like lesser-known works. And we love it when the composers are here to speak about their works. We have a secondary series called Leading European Composers, which on the 75th anniversary will broaden to Leading International Composers. Throughout the years, the Phillips Concert Series has gained an international reputation as a landmark for chamber music. The 75th anniversary is a wonderful moment for us to place value on our concerts and their future.